Hello and welcome to the Watchful Magpie. I've made some recent discoveries and I thought I'd share them with you so you can find out what I found out. Hi and welcome back. So, a few discoveries I've made in the last few weeks which I thought might be of interest to you and I'm going to share today. The first one, which I thought was just a really lovely thing to discover, was a website called Timefactors, and they've resurrected a brand called Smiths. Now, Smiths watches were quite famous back in the day, in the sort of 50s and 60s period. They had quite a serious amount of attention for various reasons, including some major designers sitting behind some of the watches, such as the pole router, which was also the same guy, Gerald Genta, who came up with the Royal Oak and various other things. He came up with the pole router, and they have this watch called the Transglobal, or the PRS-54, which is an absolutely beautiful watch. I hadn't heard of it before. I'll show you that up in close up in a second, but really beautiful watch in multiple colors. Really interesting to see, and one of the different things about Timefactors is that they only really open the shop about once a month. The last opening was just gone by on the 4th of August, and I believe it's going to be early September that the next opportunity is that the shop opens and you can look at what's available to buy. Some are sold out forever, but there's many available. But let's take a look at those watches. So first we'll take a look at the Transglobal. As I said, we've got the PRS-54, known as the pole router originally in this terms of design. You'll see that there's convex direction towards the lugs there. Very beautiful watch, powered by a Myota movement. It's just over 38 mils in terms of size. They have multiple colorways, and as you can see there, as I bring it a little bit close to the counter, the outer ring there has quite beautiful markings, and it's got gold in this particular version with the cream version, so I like that a lot. I think that works very well indeed, and as you can see, it can catch the light in a lot of different ways. So this one will be going up for review soon. The salmon one, slightly different. It has like a coppery bronze center, and you can see that it has silver markers in this case and a radial burst of the dial, which is great as well. Love that. Next on the list is the new Casio GA2300. A little bit different to the previous version, the 2100. It's smaller, it's very comfortable, and it's got various colorways with it, including a very pink one and a grey one, which is this one with orange hands. Now, size-wise, we'll take a look at those now. And as you can see, I've got the grey and orange colorway here, which I think works extremely well. Didn't think it would work quite as well as this, but the black is proper black. The displays are actually readable. I've just changed the lighting so you can get the best of what's going on there. It is smaller than the GA2100, and beside it there you'll see on my right, hopefully you're right too, I can't work it out, that's the size difference. It's a little bit thinner as well, but not, not by a huge amount. And a big difference with this is that you can actually change the strap. They have a strap adapter. It's strangely a 22 mil strap that they've put it on, but you can change that if you want to and put something else on, which is pretty cool. It's round about 39 mils as well, I believe. I might have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's certainly 39 or 40 mils. It's substantially smaller than this one, as you can see, but very nice, good option, and available in colorways like black, white, and a fuchsia pink, which is quite bright. In the UK site, for some reason, this has disappeared. I got a ridiculously amazing deal off the G-Shock website. I don't quite understand why, but at the time I looked, which was an evening, it was heavily discounted. Then there was another discount voucher applied to my cart, so I was very happy about that. Very good indeed. So that was also a very good discovery. One of the others is a company called Herz, HZ, which is an Australian startup business. They've got a kind of go anywhere, do anything, everyday beater type of watch that they've come up with. I'll put that on screen. And as you can see, it's pretty simplistic, very clean design. We've got an outer ring, and then the central dial has the day at the top and the date at the bottom. There was a version 1 preceding this. Version 1, well, the windows weren't quite big enough, I think, for the date to be easily readable, so they've improved on that. And they've made it a little bit more easy to wear and a little bit more protected from the environments. That's currently on sale, or pre-order sale, as it were. So if you fancy one, check it out. You'll see my screen actually shows it in British pounds, but I think it depends wherever you come from, it will show it in your currency as well. So Hertz version 2, worth a look. Nice quartz product, and I think it'll last for a long time, and it proved very popular in its first release, which is good. If you've come across Ciga Design, the Chinese watch company, you may have seen this, the Blue Planet design. That's been certainly news for the last 2 or 3 years. I think it won one of the major awards in 2021 for just being very clever and re-engineering a piece of a movement in particular, so that it could use that central hub, the Earth, and get the minutes to rotate as well as the Earth being the hour-handed effect with a compass. Anyways, they're coming up for an anniversary, and they have put an interesting promotion on their website, which is, I think, going to be 30% off when they come up with their next kind of batch of product. And if you put $30 down, you're guaranteed the $300 off if you're buying the steel version, or whatever 30% is off the titanium and other versions that they've got available. So thought you'd like to know about that. Another discovery I've made is from a company, never come across these guys before. Another YouTuber had actually shown this particular watch. I don't know what to think of it yet. It's kind of interesting, and it tells the time differently. So it's going to be a little bit kind of you like it, you hate it type of thing. It's a company called Omnus, and their watch is called the Omnus Sphere. It has an angled hour, and it's in the same way as the Ciga tells the time differently. These guys do that as well. So the inner hub is the second spinning, then there's the minutes, then the hours are at the outside. Lots of lume, very interesting. Just thought I'd show that to you in case you hadn't come across it and you were interested. So that's at omnuswatches.com with a hyphen in the middle there. 3 other things came to my attention as well recently. One is the Snoopy MoonSwatch. I've been looking at those. I do fancy one, but they are somewhat disposable in terms of a watch, and they're still relatively expensive here. So they sell in the UK for around £270. On eBay, they are around about £305 by the time you watch some, and someone gives you an offer. So it's, from their point of view, they're kind of recouping whatever they spent on it. So I've seen these prices really go down in the last 3-4 weeks. Maybe availability has picked up, but it's definitely gotten better, and the prices are getting a little bit more reasonable if you fancy a MoonSwatch with Snoopy on it. And then 2 last items. One is Erebus watches, as in Jody Musgrove, the Just One More Watch YouTuber who's really successful. His company with Stephen Parker. Erebus watches are still selling some of those beautiful new Ascent watches at below retail price for a further time. So if you fancy one of those, they're still there. There's 2 that aren't available. One's the Aventurine 1, which is sort of a twinkly back dial, and the Purple Helix, which is also sold out now. But there are 10 more choices that you've got there, and they've also launched the a new version of the Origin. It's just a different size. Lots of colorways there. So if you fancy the Erebus Ascent, still possible to order one for September's delivery. So that's a really interesting choice of watches to look at there. The last thing on my list, which I'm going to review as a separate thing, is coming across this incredibly colorful item. It's the San Martin SN0118. it couldn't be more colourful if it tried. It's very nice. It's got a turquoise face, and it has markers which are high polish with an orange slat in between. I'll look at those close-ups now. This is a colourful watch. Very colourful. In fact, it just zings. There's been a few reviews of this kicking around the internet. I will also be reviewing it. It's just a really nice looking watch from, you know, a mixture of colours. It's a verity. It's a right mixture of colours that really work. I wouldn't have thought teal and orange went that well together. And the highly polished markers actually look kind of black around it, which is strange, but it works. So you can see the polish coming off those now. Let's see how close I can get to camera. So there you go, the SN0118. It's there are, I think, 3 other colorways with this, like a minty one, a grape one, a briny sort of one. I particularly like the color wheel has been matched to the face. I know not everybody will like that. It makes it slightly less readable from my point of view. I don't care too much for dates, so the more invisible it is, the better. Or if it's not there at all, I'd be very, very happy. So there we go. We've got a bit of a roundup on what I've discovered recently. If you've come across other things that you'd like to mention to people here, then please mention them in the comments, and I will try to cover them next time, or certainly take a look for my own interest. Thank you for your attention, and if you're looking at watches at the moment, as you might be in summer holiday, don't forget, don't buy a watch you don't love and you can't afford. That's the mantra. In the meantime, look out for my new reviews coming out very soon, and I shall see you again. Take care out there.